Chapter 15. Patrol. Sam shakes his head. "We shouldn't have done that," he mutters. "We could have been seen. They might report us. There's probably a reward for turning us in." I can't get distracted. The shock and numbness has started to fade, and it's left me with a rage that shoots up and down my body. This is the only idea we have. Somehow, I'll make it work. "It's at least a day of walking," I say. "We need to leave right now." We get back to our bags, which are just as big as I remember. 2 huge sacks propped up behind the chicken shed. I lie down on my stomach to slide the backpack out. "There must be something important in the backpack," I say. "What's inside?" Sam asks. "Dad's leaflet," I reply. His eyes light up. He's on his hands and knees next to me, pulling at the buttons on the backpack. It unfastens and he lifts out the papers and flicks through them. "You could have missed something." "Let me see," I say, brushing straw from the outside of the backpack. "In a minute," he says. "Maybe there's something that could help." His eyes scan the pages of the leaflet, as if he knows what he's looking for. I snatch at the papers. I'm sick of Sam thinking he knows more than me. "Dad gave them to me," I said, "not you." The words tumble out before I can stop them. Sam's eyes flicker around us. He raises his finger to his lips. It maddens me even more. Through the ground, I feel a pulsing march. A patrol is near. I seize the papers and clutch them under my coat. Sam flattens himself against the ground, hiding the backpack underneath him. Dragging my elbows across the earth, I peek out under the shed. 3 pairs of military boots stomp down in front of us. Stones ping in different directions. Behind them follows another row. I hear Sam's quick breathing next to me. He stares straight ahead. My stomach twinges with guilt. It's not Sam's fault my parents are gone. The last row of soldiers passes and we lie and wait until they're far enough away. I watch a spider rotating in its web from the vibrations. "Sam," I say. Finally. "I didn't mean that." "Forget it," he says. "Let's get out of here." He jumps up and heaves the bag onto his back. He helps me with mine, tightening the rope. I smile at him, but he won't look me in the eye, so I let the corners of my mouth drop. There's nothing to smile about right now anyway. We move silently through the alleys, away from the patrol. My shoulders and neck ache from the weight. We pass the yak stables. Eve sticks her head over the half door. She watches me with her dark eyes and sniffs with her big nostrils. Her pupils are wide. She knows something is wrong. I wish I could take her with me. I turn to Sam. "Maybe we can borrow Eve." "We can't just take her," he says. "Manny needs her." "He won't mind," I say, pausing to catch my breath for a second. "I used to help him with the herd when I was younger. He trusts me." I stroke Eve's muzzle and unlatch the door. My breath is loud and rasping. I can't seem to silence it. "What are you doing?" mouthed Sam. I beckon at him to follow me. He shakes his head. I push the shed door open with my side and let the bag thud to the floor. My skin is hot and sweating. Eve nuzzles me with her wet nose. Yaks are clever and loyal. When I was younger, I'd help herd them after school. Dad wanted me to learn about the yaks. He wanted me to learn about everything. I press my head against her thick coat, smelling the earthy dung and straw and holding her nose with my hands. "Don't worry," I say to her. She pushes against my hand. "This is a bad idea," whispers Sam. "Come on." "We have to take Eve," I say. "Fine," says Sam, throwing his bag down, "but let's do this quickly." A strange tingle creeps up my spine. A shadow is cast from the doorway. Manny, leaning on his staff, prayer beads swinging from his wrist, is watching us from the entrance. Chapter 16. Dragon. Manny is swamped in a sheepskin coat. The sleeves run down past his hands. I'd forgotten how old he is. Mum says he looked the same for as long as she can remember. Like the mountains, the wind is carved into his face. I wonder how long he's been there. He doesn't say anything at first, but pulls on the coral earring hanging from his right ear, stretching it and letting it ping back. "What are you doing?" he asks eventually. I don't know what to say or even where to begin. Manny shakes his head. "Let's see what your parents have to say about this," he says. "Or maybe I should call the police." "Wait," I say, fumbling in my pocket. "The soldiers took my parents and we need to get help." I pull out the photo of the Dalai Lama and pass it to him. Manny stares down at the picture. "You two could be in serious trouble for this," he says. I notice an old yak bell hanging around his neck. It's rusty with a wide slit at the bottom. I wish I had mine. They're special, carrying the spirit of the yak herders with them. "You're going to find the Dalai Lama?" Manny asks. I nod. "I've always wanted to meet him," he says. "It's too late for me now." Manny looks around. There's no sign of people anywhere. He leans on his staff, unbuttoning his jacket and opening one half of it. There, hemmed into the lining, is the same photograph. "If you meet him, think of me," says Manny. "I've always wished to carry his blessing." "Of course," I say. "You can go," he whispers, "but look after my Eve. She's very precious." "Thank you," I say, pressing my palms together. "Go," says Manny, waving his staff. "Quickly." I take the harness off the wall and slide it over Eve's back. She turns her head and nuzzles my side. Together, Sam and I heave the bags on and tie them with the rope. Sam leans on them with his body weight whilst I secure them. Eve follows me outside and I slip the rein over the tether post. Manny appears from the next stable, leading a black yak with white markings over his eyes. The yak's thick hair and shaggy tail look like a skirt. His hooves stick out underneath it. "This is Bones," says Manny, offering the lead to Sam. They don't like to be separated. Sam smiles and climbs on Bones. I put my foot on one of the bag holdings and swing my leg over Eve. "Good luck with the journey," he says. "The yaks will keep you safe." Manny gathers his lips together and cries a high-pitched whistle. The yaks respond instantly, propelled forward as if they'd been slapped. Sam points at the sky. For the first time in ages, there are clouds above the mountains. They glow red and pink with the morning sun. Two clouds have joined together to form a dragon's head, mouth open, two teeth pointing down. The wisps of cloud are the flames licking the sun. I hold my head up high and think of Dad. I have the luck of the sky dragon.